Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus, and this is a very, very unusual situation. I've been saying recently to you that the message that I've been given to share with you have been given, and I couldn't do it any clearer than what I have. And that if you have not received it, it had to do with not your lack of interest in it at the time. And I was kind of like wanting to throw in the towel. I guess I've said that many times, and each time I say it, everybody will ever hear always know that I won't be able to hold it that way. And let me give you an example of what I mean. Today I was I think, a little place in maybe Missouri still. A little place many of you might have heard called Boomland. Boomland, yes. And the thing that got my attention today is that out from not inside where the building is, you do your shopping, but across, I guess, where people walk their dogs or walk their kids. There was a lady out there, I think. It was Asian. I think. Or she was white. I don't know. But she had a little kid. And the kid was playing on a block, standing up, leaning over on a block. But the kid seemed to have been so small till it was just amazing just watching that kid. I'm thinking, wow, look how wonderful people are. This little kid right there is so small. And then there'll come a time when this kid will grow up and get a chance to experience life like life is supposed to be experienced. And I just said that I was amazed at, and it made me think about all people who at one time was just like that little kid. And I thought about how my emotion was feeling for that kid. I thought about how God, the creator of the universe, and all of us must be feeling about us. And if God feels about us like that, then I understand why God keeps me here going through these changes to tell you that He loves you, that God loves you, and God is prepared for you. And I haven't been able to articulate the way that would really get you. But I was thinking, ladies and gentlemen, that if you really thought about it, you've heard people say that life is like a school, but you honestly really don't know any more than what you've been exposed to. Even your thinking process and your thoughts, what you come up with, have been influenced by a program. And everything that happens in this world is really a result of the program. And every human being on the face of the earth is in the program. And most folks don't know it because in the program, you got people thinking some are right, some are wrong, all of the different perspectives exist in the program. And not realizing that the program is designed to maintain itself and not anything outside of itself is to be existent in the program. And so if there's to be change, excuse me, oh boy, excuse me, if there's going to be any kind of change in people, it's going to have to come, the influence will have to come outside of the program. And how do you get that's a miracle. It takes a miracle. It takes a miracle for a person like any one of us to hear spiritually the voice of something that's so influenceable that we follow it. Yet, if it's dynamic, we can't help ourselves. So, what I want to lead to is this. Check this out. I want you to look at life this way. And I'm talking to you just like I would talk to my daughter or my son, the young ones. I'm talking to you the same way. This world was made for a whole bunch of things, but we are included. Human beings, there are none special above another. There are none lower or above any other. They are children of the Maker. We are all here on this earth. And every last human being on the face of the earth wants to live in peace. Every human being wants to be prosperous. Every human being on the face of the earth wants to be free. Every human being wants to be happy and joyous. Every human being wants to be able to live their dream. Yes, their dream. And that includes, but not limited to, having their needs, their wants, and their desires met. Every human being on the face of the earth, that means And that also includes having those things that are essential for survival, like food, clothing, shelter, education, healthcare, transportation, infrastructure, and really anything, airplanes, spaceships, anything that's made by the hands of man that you would like to access, have it available to you at your leisure. Every human being on the face of the earth like that. Now that doesn't mean you want to do everything that I said, but it means that among you the people, all of the things that I said are there for those people that want to use them, access them. Now, the power of God, that mother, that father, who created all of us, designed that just like that, so those needs would be met. And how would those needs be met according to God's plan? God's plan guaranteed that those needs would be met by taking you, the individual, and engaging you in the process of life, engaging you in the process of life by making it available for you to choose what you love most in this life as a career. You choose it. You choose your responsibility, your contribution to life, to the human process. You choose it, what you love. And God is going to bless you right off by giving you what the world can't give and the world can't take away. And that's joy. So all of a sudden, here you are, your love being expressed in your career. And you're being blessed beyond all blessings. And this represents every last one of you. That means every last one of you are satisfied and fulfilled. Now, unbeknownst to you, everything that each and every last one of you do are necessary and required in the process of all the things of life that you have imagined that you wanted, need, whatever, mansions. You have engaged yourself and guaranteed by your involvement that every human being on earth will have everything that they need. That's what God has designed for the human race. But like most things, there's always something that's going to come around and try to interrupt it. And the message has always been, it can be better. Oh, somebody comes around and try to mess the program up. It can be better. We have seen it all over the world. Wherever we live, there's always been somebody come in and try to take over. Somebody come in lying, propagandizing, feeding the fire, doing everything to get you confused. And in the process, mess your thinking up, and the little life that you thought you had now has been interrupted to chaos. That's the world in which we live. That's America. That's hatred, racism, and bigotry, and lies, and cheating, and poverty, and crime, and violence, and people shooting and murdering, politics, and taking your education, taking your health. All of these things represent things that happen in the world, things that the people have said. We'd rather have this world, uh, others, rather than the world that is designed by God. Now, you're not really saying that because nobody has told you about the world that's designed by God. And those who have tried to tell you didn't know what they were talking about. The world that God has designed for you is right the way it is for you. But you are in this world. You are in this world because before you even came, others were deceived. And it process hasn't stopped. It's maintained, it's still running. But what is the goal? The goal is for people in this world who have choice, who always express choice. That's why you're here. To see the world as it is, but to mature, to really express the creative force that comes from God, that is you. It to wake up, to care, to have the heart enough to one day open your eyes and see what's happening. See the murdering, the bombing of babies and old folks. See the poverty. See the people living in the streets. See it all and say, "Oh, no way, no way." Why? Because you have seen what I just shared with you. You've seen the world that God has instilled within your being that is not being provided here. And that being the case, you are willing to the degree that you're not going to stand for the world that you're living in right now. But one or two goals. One is to change it by walking to a different drunk, living, showing through your speaking and action what they've never known, what you didn't know. And that is maturing. That is in this world. That is being woke. That is like learning. And in the middle of all that, I just share with you, ladies and gentlemen, the world that God has put in every last one of us, in us, and then compare that with the world in which we live today. But the key is to mature and reject this world of humankind, and have faith that the power that is able to make life itself is able to, through you and the rest of you, allow you to live in that world peace and of heavenliness. So to me, if you're gonna go to church on Sunday or tomorrow and you get any other message other than the message that frees you to live, I'm talking about when Jesus was born. I'm talking about Paul and Abraham. Well, that's good stuff, but we don't need that. We need to know how to live today. We need to know the truth. We need to know what it means to live. We need to know what's stopping us from living, and we need to know what it takes to break that bond. And ladies and gentlemen, basic human rights for all people is designed to share with you the information that does just that, and that information is called truth. I want to thank you so very much for giving me this your time. Until next time, Eddie Barker say goodbye for now.